College football athletes are 40% more likely to suffer a major knee injury when playing on artificial playing surfaces as opposed to natural glass, according to a study done by Dr. Jason Drago, professor at Stanford University School of Medicine. As more and more athletes at all levels of play have to undergo major surgeries due to knee injuries, looking into the reasons behind the injuries to see if there's a method to preventing them becomes more important. As an ex-football player whose career was ended due to a knee injury, this is a subject extremely close to my heart. I personally have gone through the grueling process of tearing ligaments in my knee and attempting to recover. Due to multiple studies and personal experience, I believe that turf fields are largely responsible for many of the knee injuries we see today. To prove my point, we will first look at correlation studies between knee injuries and types of fields used. Then we should look at why the correlation exists between knee injuries and types of fields used. Lastly, we will rebuttal reasons why many people prefer artificial turfs to grass. To start, we will first look at studies that show the correlation between knee injuries and turf fields. There are many different correlation studies that have been done on knee injuries and types of fields. For example, in Dr. Drago's study, they have found that for every 100,000 either practices and games, 16 people suffer a major knee injury. More specifically, there were 14 knee injuries per 100,000 practices or games on grass surfaces, and 18 knee injuries per 100,000 practices or games on artificial turf. While this may seem like an insignificant difference between the two playing surfaces, this equates to players having a 39% more likely to have a major knee injury while playing on artificial turf. Considering the large sample size of people that play football, this is a very large amount of unnecessary knee injuries. I have personally experienced a career-ending knee injury. Believe it or not, it occurred while playing on an artificial turf surface. As well as my own injury, two of my teammates had major knee injuries. Both of their injuries occurred on artificial turf as well. While this is an extremely small sample size, it has affected me enough to personally not overlook it. Now that we have looked at the correlation between knee injuries and playing surface, we should look at why the correlation exists. There could be many reasons why the correlation exists between knee injuries and playing surface. One of the most common reasons why people believe that knee injuries are more common on artificial turf is because of the grip on artificial turf. Artificial turf is engineered so that it creates more grip on a player's cleats. This extra grip helps the player to cut and run faster without the risk of slipping. This is problematic in knee injuries because when pressure is applied to the knee and surrounding areas, generally the grip will give way and the pressure off the joint. When the grip doesn't give way and the footing holds, it increases the pressure on the knee ligaments tenfold, increasing the chance for serious injury. Dr. James Bradley is the chief orthopedic surgeon of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is also a clinical professor at the University of Pittsburgh. Dr. Bradley agrees with the speculation that the increased grip is to blame for the higher rate of knee injuries. Bradley also says that the NFL is working on making a specialized shoe that mimics the grip of natural grass on artificial turf. While natural grass is the obvious choice in regards to injury prevention, artificial turf does have many advantages over natural grass. This is why it is still commonly used. There are multiple reasons why many people still choose artificial turf over natural grass. Artificial turfs are much easier to maintain than grass fields. Grass fields take a lot of maintenance to keep at proper playing conditions. Grass fields need to be watered, fed the right chemicals, and mowed constantly. The hassle that comes with grass fields tends to lead people to choose artificial grass for their fields. However, what I believe to be the main reason why artificial turfs are more common are because of the increased grip with players' shoes. The increased grip leads to a lot faster cuts and running by players. This produces an advantage for players as they can move faster and more fluidly. But at what risk? Is it worth a little bit of an advantage and ease of care to risk the career of multiple athletes? Although there are reasons why an artificial turf is more logical than natural grass, it is not worth the risk of all the major knee injuries. As you can see, due to the multiple studies, the more sensible choice in playing surface is natural grass. According to studies, there is a strong correlation between major knee injuries and artificial playing surface. With only 1.39 times more likely than natural grass, the large sample size magnifies the number of unnecessary knee injuries tremendously. One of the main reasons why this is, I believe, is because of the increased grip on artificial turf that fails to give way when extreme pressure is applied to the knee. Although artificial turf does have its obvious advantages over natural grass, the risk of having a career injury like mine is not worth it. If you're ever in the position to choose between natural grass or artificial turf playing surface, natural grass is the most sensible choice.